Having said that, I would say that my chartered accountancy background, I think, has been the cornerstone of my approach to technology. It gives me that unique vantage point of not just looking at technology as, an enablement or the lens of innovation,
Right.
but also I look at what is the value, the control, and the business alignment.
Looking over the digital transformation, but today CIOs wearing multiple hats. Any best practices or key recommendations or any word of advice for the next generation of CIOs who are looking to drive business in the coming era?
I think for the aspiring CIO is very simple. Please don't chase technology, chase business outcomes,
Correct.
right? The tools will come and go, technology will change, but the ability to connect technology to business is timeless. So I would give 3 points of advice. First is every technology leader should learn the language of business. A lot of times, technology leaders are guilty of using technology terms which generally do not resonate well with other functional leaders.
Hi, you're watching the mainstream. I am Simran Shiwalkar, your host for today, and we are back with the latest episode of Voice of CIO, one of our exclusive series where we gather insights and incredible stories from some of the top industry leaders leading the tech space. Well, today I am excited to have Mr. Udit Pahwa. He is the CIO, which is Chief Information Officer at Blue Star Limited. Firstly, Mr. Pahwa, thank you so much for being a part of the series and joining me today.
Thank you, Simran. Thanks for having me on this platform and giving me the privilege to share my thoughts.
Absolutely. It's totally an honor for us to have your insights. So, well, you need no introduction. I will definitely take this opportunity to share a few things about you with our audience today. Shall I?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you. Well, Mr. Udit Pahwa, as I rightly said, he is currently the Chief Information Officer at Blue Star Limited, a seasoned tech leader and an award-winning CIO. He's currently spearheading IT strategy and digital transformation at Blue Star Limited, a chartered accountant by qualification and a technologist by passion. He has spent his career bridging business and technology to drive growth, operational excellence, as well as customer satisfaction. His impressive track record includes global ERP deployments across industries, building tech platforms that have enabled business expansion, leading early adoption of transformative technologies like hyper-converged infrastructure and virtualization. His expertise lies in creating technology vision, enterprise architecture, as well as business process solutions that deliver tangible, quantified business benefits. Well, I'm more than excited to gather some incredible insights and also hear out his story. So, without any further ado, let's begin. Firstly, Mr. Pahwa, you have built a unique career at the intersection of finance and tech, right from CA to a technologist and being a tech leader. How has this journey been? Can you tell us a bit about it?
Yeah, so my initial career, as you rightly mentioned, was in the domain of finance and accounts, where I used to handle the regular work as being a part of the finance function. And I was also responsible for the entire budgeting and sales performance analysis. And somewhere along when the organization was implementing an ERP, and even during my audit days, I used to find out the tasks that I used to do using paper and audit, etc., checking. When I spoke to the developer, those days we had software packages on Fox Pro. He used to furiously type some code, and what used to take me 2 days, he used to accomplish in a couple of hours. That got me thinking that if I combine these two skills, I can do much more. Having said that, I would say that my chartered accountancy background, I think, has been the cornerstone of my approach to technology. It gives me that unique vantage point of not just looking at technology as, an enablement or the lens of innovation,
Right,
but also I look at what is the value, the control, and the business alignment.
right.
In every transformation, whether it is an ERP, a CRM, or whatever making a digital twin for your manufacturing operations, I always start from the question saying, fine, how is it going to impact my profit and loss? Is it going to increase my top line, strengthen my bottom line, bring in efficiency? What is the risk it is mitigating, and how do we have a scalable governance? So it's actually more on the business side, and because of this dual lens of finance and accounts and technology, I'm able to bridge the gap between IT and business, and having engaging conversations with the CFO on cost, compliance, margin analysis, etc. It becomes more easy. Speaking with the CEO for growth and agility becomes easy. And I think I would summarize by saying that, my finance domain has taught me discipline and accountability. Technology has given me the canvas to innovate, and I've combined the two together be both a custodian as well as a catalyst to growth.
Absolutely. I think it's rather impressive intersection having finance, having the background of finance, as well as leading in the tech space. Thank you so much for sharing a glimpse of your journey. I'm also aware that you have delivered major ERP and digital transformation projects, not just in India but also globally. Could you tell us a bit about what key ingredients or what are the key practices that you leverage for executing large scale programs when we talk about today's digital landscape?
Okay. So what I'm going to probably mention is true for any project, and I think let me classify that as a general knowledge or bare basics in the technology delivery. The first and foremost for any assignment, whether it is an ERP or a digital transformation or otherwise, is to have a very clear vision with business sponsorship. Technology should not lead for the sake of technology. Every
Correct.
program that we undertake has to have a very sharp articulation of what is the business goal that we're going to achieve.
Right.
That needs to be backed by a strong CXO leadership. Depending on which function that you take up, you need to have that functional leader acting as a sponsor. So, for example, there was this consolidation of 12 ERPs as a project that we had taken. It was not an IT initiative, it was a business initiative. It was about harmonizing processes and enabling a single view of the customer. So that was the objective, which was taken as a business function. So clear vision with business sponsorship is the starting point. And the second point would be, people first and then technology.
Correct.
A lot of times focus is put on technology, but not the process. It's the other way around. So, I mean, if your focus is on business process redesign, right, before writing the code, that's the right approach. You don't write the code and then look at the process. And so whether it is, we managed in the past to reduce month-end closing from 12, 15 days to 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, or improving efficiencies and saving of FTE man hours, it is first you look at the process and then you put the technology for that process. The
Wow.
third point I would say would be handling people and change management. Technology is the easier part. That's a given. It's a piece of code that you can write, create, recreate, etc. But bringing people together from diverse functions, cross functions is one of the most tough jobs. And we need to ensure that there is continuous engagement, there is ownership, hand-holding, everything to allow the change to happen. And the fourth point I would say is have strong governance and communication and ensure scalability. Many a times, that the proverbial saying there is a many slip between the cup and the lip. Communication holds the key in any transformation project, any large project, whether it is scope creep, whether it is integration gaps, it can crop up anywhere. So if you have a governance model to address that and a right communication model combining the two together, you can save countless hours of rework. So that's, I think, the highlights that I apply to any kind of a transformation project.
Absolutely. I think, like you rightly pointed out, technology is as much as about people as it is about
Yeah,
process.
absolutely.
Yeah. And today, the role of CIO has evolved, not just leading, IT strategies or looking over the digital transformation, but today CIOs wearing multiple hats. Well, at Blue Star, how are you, kind of able to align IT strategy, also support businesses, and deliver operational excellence at the same time?
Yeah. So I think aligning IT strategy with business growth and operational excellence is I think not a one-time job, but it's an evolving partnership, right? It's a continuous journey, right? So there are, I would say, a three-pronged or a three-pillar approach that we do. First is to standardize. Second is to digitize the standardized items. And the third is to optimize the digitized standards. So it's a three-step approach, right? So now to execute this, there is a strategy that aligns with each of the business vertical or the business functions, as we would put it. And this is also then backed by the technology strategy where we follow a cloud first infrastructure approach. We look at how can I have integrated cross-functional business processes? How can I enable visibility and with an underlining layer of cybersecurity being built in? So to give you an example, handling the entire migration of an ERP and a CRM to the cloud to bring scalability and cost control is something that aligned with the business strategy as well. Because if you need to grow, adding hardware on an on-premise would have been, a very it would create bottlenecks. But if you're on the cloud, on the go, you can keep adding and scaling infrastructure that is needed. The second thing I would say is embedding digital into the core of operations. So whether it is enabling connected shop floor, creating a digital twin, or even having conversational analytics. Write a question or, have a GPT to answer your questions rather than you running reports and looking at dashboards.
Correct.
So, I mean, these are not just buzzwords, but they're real use cases which help, bringing in predictive insights. They help in reducing downtime on the shop floor, and they enhance decision making. And I think the third thing is, keeping cybersecurity at the start and in the heart of everything. Given the information explosion and given the amount of cyber attacks that are taking place and the sophistication of those attacks, it is even more a tough job to, keep the fortress guarded very well. I think these are the three things that I would, kind of bank on.
Absolutely. I think you've also, having said that, we are seeing a huge shift when we talk about the risk landscape as well. The innovations, the kind of innovations that are coming in with cloud had its era. It's now AI that's taking the center stage. You have worked from, diverse sectors from banking to manufacturing. You also led teams. Any leadership lessons that have, stayed constant with you throughout these years, throughout your experiences?
Yeah, so I think having worked across multiple domains of banking, telecom, FMCG, and then manufacturing, I would say that, I have seen technology evolve. The world has seen technology evolve, right? But the leadership principles stay remarkably consistent and the same.
Right.
I would say the three key lessons for me which stand out would be the first one is you listen before you lead. So when I say this, what I mean is whether you're talking to the plant head or financial controller, or the first step is to understand the pain points, the language and the priorities. Because empathy will build trust and trust will enable transformation. That will help you handle the change management in a better way. So listening is a skill that needs to be practiced and understanding what you are listening. The second I would say is clarity beating complexity. See, technology can be really overwhelming for a lot of people and can become a stumbling block.
Right.
But I think the success lies in how simple you can make things. So whether it is, integrating 12 ERPs that we did, or build a supply chain planning tool for central planning across the country, the focus was always the user, how he is going to use it and how simple it will be, and not make it very impressive from a technology perspective. Don't make it a technology showpiece. And last, I would say the third point would be put people over projects. You can have a wonderful architecture of your tech landscape, but if the people are not engaged, you have built wonderful applications. But if the users are not engaged, it's bound to falter. So across industries, investing time in mentoring teams to co-own the outcome with business and just not stay on the technology front, that ensures success. So the success is shared and not just delivered. You share success with your users. So whether the context is, whether you automate financial processes in a shared service setup or you build predictive analytics for machine failure on the shop floor, listening, simplifying, and empowering remained true constants.
Absolutely. And any key trends or, technologies that you're kind of, that has, gained attention and you are most focused on to kind of future-proof business at Blue Star.
Let
Gen
me,
AI and agentic AI is what has been the discussion in every boardroom.
yeah.
But anything, other than any trends that you have observed?
Yeah, so let me be specific from a manufacturing perspective.
Correct.
I would say we stay focused on four technology levers. As I've mentioned before in the previous question, we have a cloud first everything or a cloud first approach. Our ERP has been migrated to the cloud, which is the core backbone of the organization. We run a lot of our applications, our CRM on a SaaS mode, and there are a lot of other critical workloads that run out of cloud infrastructure. This not only brings scalability but also cost efficiency, positions us for a faster innovation, whether it is integrating all the AI that you spoke about or bringing in analytics. So, cloud first and have connected operations and digital twin. Now, this is very focused for manufacturing operations. All the shop floors, all the plants that we have are 4.0 enabled, or as it is called, an IoT-led shop floor. Though we have not yet matured on the digital twin part, which is the next level, but the connected shop floor does have a very large impact on how we manage our manufacturing assets, the quality, energy management, etc. And all these now helping us enable predictive maintenance of machines, enabling higher uptime and better throughput of production. The third point, which I already mentioned in the previous question answer, was cybersecurity. We are keeping cybersecurity at the core of everything. With the increase in the attack surfaces, especially on the shop floor environment, we've already invested in next generation firewall, and you will keep hearing the term IT OT segregation. We've already segregated. There's a 24 by 7 knock, SOC, there's a framework. All that has been put in place. In short, cybersecurity is at the core. And the last is, decision making using deep analytics and insights. We are exploring conversational analytics, as I mentioned, right? So rather than running a report which gives you a table, and then you sit and analyze the table, you ask a question about what is the information you want, and you will get the answer. So that's
Correct.
the conversational analytics. And we are looking at intelligent automation across functions. So to an extent, it can be termed as an agentic AI kind of a concept. But the goal here is not just efficiency or augmentation, but it is helping the humans take faster decisions or smarter decisions, probably aided by AI. So it's a coexistence kind of a model. And I can see the IT landscape evolving from, it's already evolved rather, from a system
Correct.
of records to systems of intelligence. And our role as CIO is to architect this shift without disrupting the business.
Absolutely. I think we have come way beyond Industry 2.0, and there has been a major shift, whether you're talking about your tech, whether you're talking about the practices in cybersecurity as well. But against all of this, with so much happening with AI, machine learning, cloud as well, a lot of platforms coming into the picture, and the way the process is, changing continuously, any best practices or key recommendations or any word of advice for the next generation of CIOs who are looking to drive business in the coming era?
Yeah, word of advice. So for the word of advice for the next generation, I think for the aspiring CIO is very simple. Please don't chase technology, chase business outcomes, right?
Correct.
The tools will come and go, technology will change, but the ability to connect technology to business is timeless. So I would give 3 points of advice. First is every technology leader should learn the language of business. A lot of times, technology leaders are guilty of using technology terms which generally do not resonate well with other functional leaders. How well does a technology leader understand the balance sheet of the organization? How
Correct.
well do you sit with, how long or how much time do you invest in actually walking on the shop floor if you're a manufacturing entity and seeing every worker do his task? It's a time and motion study. How much time has been spent with sitting with the sales team to see how they work, etc. So in short, looking at the work method, speaking their language, and designing solutions that will solve the problem and create value on the ground. So that's the first part. Second is before you build technology systems, you need to build trust. So success in leadership in technology comes from the stakeholder alignment and change management rather than just clever architecture. So lead with empathy and not expertise on technology. And last point, I would say stay curious. Be a learner. I was a chartered accountant and I evolved into a digital transformation leader because I kept asking questions. I was very inquisitive. Even till date, I keep adapting to the new technologies, keep upskilling myself. So there's a lot of reading that you need to do. And I please step out of your comfort zone. Don't just stay hooked on or connected to technology. So remember, for the upcoming CIOs, I would say it is not your job to deliver IT. Your job is to deliver growth, resilience, and competitive advantage using technology.
Very, very well said. And I think to drive business value through technology would be the mantra here. I think this goes beyond technology. We all can take some inspiration from that to have the appetite for continuous learning and to have that kind of mindset. So thank you so much, Mr. Pahwa, for making this conversation really insightful and candid. While I wrap up, I most certainly look forward to connect with you again.
Thank you, Simran. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much.